Which must be me, much bigger, much stubborn game on the paw, one chin. And Shannon, when did you make that transformation when you're going to be an artist as a singing native artist? When did you decide to do that?
I think I've always been singing all my life. When I was a little girl, I was called the songbird by my grandma.
Oh.
And what the Iroquois believe is when you're young, that if we see a talent coming out of a young person, they can draw or they can sing or they can do something, bead or do something that looks like they have some promise, we are supposed to nurture that gift. So actually, when I was named in the Longhouse, I was about 5 years old. So they named me Digaliwakwa, which means she sings. And I've also learned that the translation is more like she lifts the voice. And the voice stands up, or I'm standing up with my voice. Something along that line where it's like not only just for myself, but for others. So that I was given that name when I was 5. So I guess I've always loved to sing, but I didn't know that I would be doing it to try to raise some money for somebody.
Yeah, that's I heard you earlier that you're very incredible with your singing, and I really liked one song. It's called the Ojibwe song. I wonder, do you speak a little bit of Ojibwe? Or?
Music speaks to me always. The language of music is no matter what country I go to. I mean, there are many sovereign nations in this country, but all over the world, people, when they sing their songs, it lifts the soul and the spirit, and you'll see everyone, just all our minds come together. And that, for me, was a blessing. When somebody taught me that song, they said, please sing this song, because your voice can bring that song and touch the heart and soul.
That's really impressive. Do you still speak your native Iroquois language?
I'm a good eavesdropper. My mom was discouraged from speaking her language. My dad did speak the fluent Onondaga language. There are 6 different dialects in the Iroquois languages of the Mohawk, the Oneida, the Seneca, Cayuga, Tuscarora, and the Onondaga. Our grandfather was a chief who spoke all those 6 languages. So just from him to me, all of a sudden, it's not popular. But we now find out that people are continuing to try to learn to speak. And I'm working at that. So when I attend ceremonies, I know what they're going to do next with the words that they're saying. Or if I hear people talking in the corner, I know kind of catch a word here and there. I know how to say pass the salt, sit down. No. Your typical general conversation, Something I learned recently, this is a very beautiful word, and it is gonolunkwa. Gonolunkwa. Can you say that? Gonolunkwa. And it doesn't simply mean I love you, which I always thought it meant. It means you are a gift of medicine to me. Yeah. Isn't that beautiful? So sometimes the language can turn around where it's just typical nyawa, or sego skenengo is like sego, hi. Everybody thinks it's hi or how are you, but really it means greetings and I hope there's peace within you. So that's a beautiful translation. The language is so powerful that I've come to learn.
In my language, every time you say something like Eskinondo nanangomanda nashimansi napchuman pinteng gipsekagan, when I first heard you sing today, it really hit me in the heart. You know, I liked your voice very much.
Thank you. And Oscanando, what does that mean? Did you say
Gipsikawan. That means it hit me in the heart.
Oh,
I felt it. You know, I felt your voice. Yeah. You know, sometimes, you know, my co-workers, Margaret Norrie and Stacy, they always kid me about this one song I really don't like in the language, you know. And the college, you know, they always kid me about it, you know. So today, I think I really enjoyed every song you sang, you know.
Yeah, and go. Yeah, we have many ways, and our dialects are different, so that makes it a little more complicated. Like, say, for example, if you say sit down, in Oneida, for example, it'd be sajia, and in Onondaga, sadi. You know, it's very similar. So no matter what territory you are, you kind of can understand. But the language is very flowing and very beautiful. And I try to use it whenever I can, as much as I can, so that, you know, our young people can learn from the songs. Because it's easier sometimes to remember something through a song.
Well, our language probably works the same way as yours, you know, because there's a feminine language and a male version of the language, you know. So say, you know, a female would say ashishmaji, and a male would say shtataha. You know, something happens, you know, real quick. You know, something pops out of nowhere. It's, you know, it's something that's really hard to understand. You know, since I started doing teaching here at the university, I really did a lot of research on words, what was spoken at home, and like my mom, she learned to speak my language when she was about, I don't know, about 18, 19 when her dad passed away. She was her dad was originally from residential school, and he was in Iroquois from your region.
Really?
So they were raised on Manitoulin, and that Wickwamcon, they had a residential school there at one point. So there was quite a few Iroquois people that came and lived there at that time. They were transported by boat, you know, so they never actually went back, you know. That's how sad it is in our culture. People leave one point of their lives to go somewhere and they never go back, you know. It's just, you know, and yet they still make a good life out of where they're at. And what you're doing today here, I think, you know, to me, you brought a lot of understanding what Native person is all about. You know, you showed us you told us where you were at, where you've been, and you know, you gave us hope.
Oh, that's so kind. You made me cry. That's very beautiful, and I thank you for those words. It means so much to me. You know, each and every one of us has a chance to contribute to the world our gifts. And I just try to remind people about that fact, that we all have a chance to make a difference on our planet. And it's not, you know, it's a blessing for me to be here. I learn from you. And I've truly admired the enthusiasm of today's audience. We have native, non-native, young people, old people, probably every race and religion. And that to me is part of our prophecy. We're supposed to come together and learn from one another. And
said some good words. And I would like also to thank the people that came out today, and I really enjoyed. I see a lot of happy faces today. You know, sometimes I go someplace and you know I don't see that much happy faces, but I think today everybody was happy. You know, miigwech. And also I like to, you know, I wasn't supposed to be here. You know, I think about 7 years ago I was on, you know, I worked at a place where I used to build stores, you know, for a living. I used to build stores. I used to do these fancy stores like Victoria's Secrets and all that, you know, all these feminine stores. So one day my company gave me a 2-week holiday. So I went up to the zoo, see my people, and next thing I know, I was sitting in a immersion camp, and God and behold, I was sitting in heaven. I was hearing my language being spoken, being taught. And I think that Sunday, there came a turning point in my life where I was talking to my mom, and she says, where are you been? I says, well, I've been sitting at this immersion camp here in Bay Mills, and they're teaching the language. And says, what are you doing there? Are you learning the language? He says, no, it just feels good to listen to my people speak their language. And she says, you're a good speaker. Why don't you try doing that? So that was 2 years ago, and my 2 weeks holiday, I'm still on my 2 weeks holiday. And here I am. So, when you made that transfusion, did you have any big dreams of becoming a big star, or just, hey, like me, I said, I'm going to try it, just as simple as that. Did you have that feeling too?
No, not really. You'd have to pinch me sometimes because, I think it's feels more like a responsibility than, isn't that exciting? Someone asked you to come to sing for Gorbachev, or to have dinner with Frank Sinatra, or to, the things that I've had a chance to do, I'm writing about now, and I have to kind of pinch myself. What the heck? Went to, Woodstock in '94. I mean, there's so many things, but these things are not as important as it is when you realize that you've touched the heart of someone. Like you just said, you've touched souls or whatever. Our world will become a better place. We will do what we're supposed to do on this earth if we put our minds there, wrap our arms around it. And so I've never thought of that. No, even as I was sitting at the Grammys, I was so excited because all my family was more excited than me. And, these kinds of things, they're blessings. You look at them, for me, I look at them as blessings and an opportunity to share with the world the gift I've been given, and that's pretty much it. This is a very wonderful thing to spend a little bit of time afterward sharing with people some thoughts and ideas. And I took the stage so long already, I don't want to keep on, but I want to say that we can all dance a beautiful dance, and we don't have to be afraid to live. 2012, many people are worried about that, but I once heard the Dalai Lama speak in person just at the turn of the millennium, and he said, when the millennium comes around, the little ants will be singing their songs. They'll be going, la, la, la. And the birds will still be singing. So the prophecy is among the Iroquois that we must continue our responsibilities, we will continue to live on the earth, and make a place for 7 generations into the future. So we all have that before us. We just have to accept it, embrace it, and enjoy it, because life is meant to be enjoyed.